More than 4 years ago, I created and uploaded my very first Roblox game. This pretty much started my developing journey on Roblox, and since then, I managed to create some more games I'm really proud of. I put a lot of passion into them, learned and gathered a ton of knowledge, but most importantly, had a lot of fun creating them. However, the games published under my profile aren't the only games I worked and improved on, and like many other developers, I have a ton of unfinished ambitious projects that have never seen the light of day. So in this video, starting from the oldest ones, we'll be revisiting and taking a look at some of my old and abandoned projects. Let's get right into it. The first project we'll take a look at is essentially the next Portal game I wanted to make.
Okay, ready? One. Catch me, catch! Ow!
These were my very humble studio beginnings when I still believed coding is all sunshine and rainbows. Anyway, we have a cool little menu screen, and also an impressive selection of settings. There's a boring dialogue about how you're in a testing facility, you're a test subject, the usual yap, and then an objective to look around. It basically means nothing, the game just waits for a while. Wait. Oh no. Yep, you guys taught me a very valuable lesson. Anyway, after some time, the elevator arrives, and when you get in, nothing happens. This is the end. There's a big bunch of nothing happening in the game, so instead let's take a look at how the game is built. One obnoxious thing I noticed is the huge amount of scripts, each serving only one specific task. This one opens a UI window, and this one closes it. It could all be in just one script. Then there's a lot of code I'm sure I couldn't write myself at the time. Overall I'd give it a 10 for the vision, 0 for the execution. This next project on my list is a pretty big jump from the previous game in terms of quality. I spent a lot of time working on what was essentially supposed to be a casual two-team first-person shooter. However, other than team selection, there aren't any game systems I coded.
It's blank.
What?
But even in the game's current state, it's somewhat playable. You can select your team, spawn at your base, while not being able to enter the enemies, and obviously shoot other players using a gun from the toolbox. Yep, I wasn't able to code that myself either. I really like the map I made, but other than that, there's nothing too exciting or impressive I can show you. There's very little code, and it's written okay, so we can move on to another project. So this next game was pretty much all finished, but I decided not to upload it for a very simple reason. It's boring. It starts with a VHS tape being inserted into the player, after which you're able to wander around the map and, pretty much, do the Mbappe special.
For example, nothing.
The grass-covered hills have these weird monoliths with a glowing sphere hovering amongst them, but that's pretty much it. I think I simply aimed for a realistic and cool-looking environment with a VHS recording effect. I later happened to partially reuse it in my Backrooms game, so it wasn't entirely wasted work. So that's pretty much all there is to this game. It just looks really cool, so let's move on. The last thing I want to show you isn't really a game, but rather a map with a bunch of self-made props. I really like coding games, but I also find a lot of joy in creating and shaping worlds. And so, sometimes I would just launch Studio, open a project, and instead of coding, model a lot of stuff and arrange them into a map. Building has always been relaxing to me, and in addition to that, I've been improving and getting better at making actual games at the same time. Not everything I've done here is wasted work either. I reused a lot of the props in my other games. I have many other projects like that, but I think this particular one is the one most worth showing. And that concludes everything I wanted to show you for today. I do have many more abandoned projects, but they're either just an empty baseplate or have way too little to offer. Nevertheless, every single one of them contributed to where I am and who I am right now. Let me know what you think, and if you have some abandoned games as well, consider telling me about them in the comments. Thanks for watching, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, see you all soon again.